I recently inherited this Famicom from a friend. It sat in a smoky bar for over 10 years, which you can see from the tar that's caked on the plastic. I actually think that gives it character, so I decided not to clean it up. But there is one problem that I'm gonna have to fix. As you can see, when I connect it to the TV and turn it on, it makes this loud buzzing noise. It's so loud that I can't even hear the game that I'm trying to play. At first, I thought it might be the RF switch, but even after checking the connection and giving it a good shake, the sound didn't change at all. I did some looking online, and it looks like the most common culprit for this noise is the microphone on the second player controller. There's a small capacitor in here that often dries out, and it causes all sorts of problems. So let's open it up and see if we can fix it. I ordered some spare caps on Mercari for 300 yen. That's way more than these things actually cost, but 300 yen is the minimum price setting on Mercari, and it includes shipping, so I figured, what the hell? This blue condenser here is the one that we need to replace. You can see on the side, it shows the capacitance and voltage, 0.33 microfarads and 50 volts, which is the same as the spares I bought. More importantly though, are these marks which show the negative and positive legs. This will help us avoid putting it on backwards. So first we need to desolder the old one. We'll use this desoldering wick to suck up the excess solder. Now that the contacts are clean, we can place the new one in here and solder it in place. Once it's in place, we need to trim the excess legs off the back. And that's it. Now we just need to put it all back together again. Alright, let's give it a try to see if we fix the issue. Well, that's disappointing. The noise is still there. When we move the volume knob, you can hear the noise change, which means it's probably something in here. A quick check on the internet tells me that there's another very likely culprit: this volume slider itself. When the contact goes bad, it creates this weird noise. The fact that this machine sat collecting smoke for over a decade means that there's likely tar built up on the contacts, so let's give them a quick clean. Unfortunately, the screws are all stripped on the controller, so we'll have to get those out somehow too. I went to the hardware store next door and I bought a screw removing bit. On one side, there's a drill to carve out a thread on the top of the screw, and on the other side, there's a backward threaded bit. In theory, this will catch the thread and pull out the screw. It better, because I spent 1,200 yen on it. This bit works pretty well. It grips the screw so well that it actually is hard to get it off of the bit once the screws come out. This process will ruin the original screws, so I bought a small sachet of replacement screws for about 100 yen. Now I'm 1,600 yen into this project, and for a little bit more, I could have just bought another used Famicom. Now we'll remove the volume slider. And buff it a little bit with a bit of sandpaper. We don't want to go too hard here, just enough to scrape away any residue without really scratching up the copper too badly. Then we'll use some alcohol to wipe it clean. And finally, we'll give it a little bit of a bend to make sure it gets a nice firm connection with the board. Now we'll repeat the same step on the board itself. We want to be even more careful here not to expose too much of the copper on the board. We just want to use enough pressure to scrape away any tar that's built up on here. Then we'll go through with some alcohol. Man, look how black that Q-tip is. It must feel so good for this Famicom to get all that gunk out of there. Now all that's left is to put everything back in its place and close it back up. We want to make sure to tighten these screws really well so that the volume slider has a nice tight contact with the board. And now, here we go, the moment of truth. Check it out! I can hear Mario 3, and no noise at all. Despite its discoloration and smell, I'd say this Famicom is fixed. Now there is one question of why I needed to fix this in the first place, as I already have a Famicom Mini right here, hacked with all of my favorite games on it. Well, there is one really good reason, which is to play all the awesome peripherals, like the power pad, the zapper, and the power glove. But those are topics for another video.